Therapy Unveiled, an opportunity to talk about what happens behind the closed doors of therapy. I bring to you topics that I have with my clients in therapy with the hopes that you too can learn the tips and strategies that help you protect your peace. Today we're going to be talking about should thoughts. But before we do that, I want to shout out all the 2021 college grads. Listen, I know the struggle was real, not only this year, but last year. And so I just want to recognize how you persevered, recognize that I see you, and I'm proud of your efforts, and you should just be celebrating on a whole nother level because listen, 2020 to 2021 has been very interesting, the least to say, right? So we're going to get right into it. Again, I'm Natasha, and I'm here to challenge you to think about, are you having some should thoughts? What do your thoughts sound like? So let me tell you a little bit about first what a should thought is. A should thought is a type of automatic thought. Another clinical term for it is distortions, thought distortions. And what this all means is that you're having thoughts that are causing negative emotions, causing emotional distress. These type of thoughts may trigger feelings like anxiety or frustration or depression or overwhelmingness. It might cause some anger, right? Some confusion. And these are thoughts that are not really helpful in a way of helping you really resolve a situation in a way that's bringing you peace, where you're protecting your peace and your joy. So should thoughts is a type of automatic thought that creates a mandate. It's this mandate that only you've created. Nobody else said you have to live this way or you have to do this. But it's a mandate that you have created based on what you've learned about how the world functions, right? It's a way that your brain is protecting yourself from judgment of others. It's a way that your brain is protecting yourself from disappointing others, from not being accepted, protecting you from a rejection or abandonment or betrayal, right? Because it's this idea that I should be acting this way. I must do this specific thing. I must have my life look like this. Again, because if I do, then I prevent rejection. I prevent abandonment. I prevent judgment, right? But nobody else is putting these mandates on you. And the thing about should thoughts is that because it feels like a mandate, it feels like you have no other choice other than to follow this should thought. And then that causes feelings of anxiety because if you don't do it correctly or if you don't do it at all, then it's this pressure of, I'm going to get this type of rejection. I'm going to have some judgment, right? It might cause some frustration or anger because it's not even something you really want to do, but you feel like you have to do it, right? And so it helps you deal with situations, but it doesn't help you live the life that you want to live. It's causing you to create a lifestyle, a personality based on what you think the world is expecting of you, what you think the world will accept from you. So how do you defeat should thoughts? Well, you defeat should thoughts by thinking about, is this decision I'm making something that I should be doing based on a should, or is it based on what I actually want to do? So let me give you an example of what a should thought may sound like. So I have a client and she often has should thoughts. And we were just challenging some of these should thoughts recently. And it's the should thought that at 40, I should be having kids and married by now, right? And obviously she has friends that are married and have kids, and she does not. She's single, living her best life, but she's not able to enjoy this singlehood because she's looking at what other people are doing. She's basing on what society says of what a life of a 40-year-old woman should look like. And so she's getting down on herself because she's thinking, oh, I should be this way, right? Another should thought that she has in her mind is that I should be this perfect aunt, right? I should be the top aunt that my nieces just love, right? And because of that, she feels this pressure to have to perform, to have to constantly please her nieces, to have to constantly spend time with them so they don't pick anybody else, right? So they can see that she is the coolest aunt compared to the other aunts, right? Again, stress that then she's putting on herself and also her nieces to reaffirm that she is enough, right? And all of this is about reaffirming. The whole thing about a should thought is, if I do this ought, requirement, then I'll be reaffirmed that I'm enough because I'm meeting these standards of the world. I'm meeting the standards of the people in my life, right? They're going to accept me. They're going to acknowledge me. So I'm getting all this reaffirming. But really, you got to reaffirm yourself. You got to be the one to reaffirm yourself, because if not, you end up developing a life. You end up developing a personality based on how other people see you as, or how you think other people see you as. And then you get lost, and then that self-identity goes away. Another should thought that another client had is that I should be interesting. I should have a whole bunch of friends. I should have this certain type of persona, right? And so she's now trying, I should be creative, I should be fun. And mind you, her personality is just real chill. She's just real chill. She's okay with like staying at home and not going out a whole lot. But she has friends that like to go out all the time, who want to party, but that's not really her thing. But she's feeling like, well, shoot, at 22, I should want to party. I should be going out. And then she finds herself in situations that she doesn't even want to be in because she's following these should thoughts. And so again, I was challenging her to think about, what is it that you want? And why is that not okay? And that's what happens when you challenge your should thoughts. It's helping you think, well, why am I just not okay? Why being me is not enough? And you're asking yourself that, right? Because nobody else is putting these should thoughts on you but yourself. So you gotta ask yourself, like, why am I not enough? And it's a lot of pressure. You know, I tell my clients a lot, like, that's a lot of pressure to live this way. And they're like, yeah, girl, it is. Yes, that sounds like a lot of pressure to try to live this type of life. And so when you defeat your should thoughts, recognizing, is this something I should be doing? Is this based on a should thought? The decision I want to make, is this based on a should thought? Or is this based on something I actually want to do? When you're able to determine if it's one or the other, that gives you clarity of where the decision is coming, where this mandate is coming from, and what decision you need to make. Because you need to make it based on what you want to do. So you live the life that you want to live. So you can feel fulfilled. So you can set the goals based on what you want your life to look like. You begin to create a lifestyle that is based on your passion, your purpose, not on what you think other people think your passion and purpose should be, right? And so I challenge you to think to yourself, am I having should thoughts? And if I am, what mandates am I putting on myself? Because it's time to break free. It's time to break free from these should thoughts. It's time for you to live your life the way that you want to live your life, not on the way you think you should or you ought or you must live your life. It's time to protect your peace and speak your truth and live it and accept it and love every piece of it. So remember, subscribe, comment. I would love to hear your comments about all this as well. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at speaklife_SLT. You can DM me, tell me more about your thoughts. Also, follow me on Facebook at Living Speak Life. I would love to hear from you guys. And until I see you again, make sure you speak life, be bold, and be safe.